Good morning, folks. Buenos dias. Good morning. Buenos dias. All of you out there, good morning, folks. Debbie Collins, good to see you there. Hope you guys have recovered from last evening. Good morning, Dolly Anderson and all of our tubers. Those of you joining us on Facebook, good to see you. Good to have you on LinkedIn. Those of you joining us on Twitter, good morning to you, folks. What's for breakfast at your end? What's the news making the headlines at your end? Wherever you're joining us from, whether you're at home here in Guyana, where we're broadcasting live from, or you're joining us from somewhere in the diaspora, we are happy and we are simply delighted to have each and every one of you with us, our good folks. Edward Brooms, good to see you. And June, good to see you. I see we have also Claire Alexis Chamley Richmond, who's with us too. Good to have you, Claire. John Jones is here with us too. Good to have you, John. Always good to have good people with us. Good to have you, John. And Carol Rollins, we see you there as well, Carol. Good to have you, Carol. Debbie Collins is here too. Debbie, good to see Debbie Sargent with us, as a matter of fact. Edward Gonzalez is here, and Marla Pandey, of course, watching us from Carmichael Street. Carmichael Street, Marla, good morning to you. And is it Calvin? And Calvin and all the other folks joining us. It's really great to have you folks. We're fired up at this end and we're ready to go. And we hope that you guys are as well. Buenos dias, buenos dias. See, we were up all midnight learning our Spanish. Audrey Scott, good to see you there. All midnight, we were up learning our Spanish. Letel Pratt, good to have you as well. Folks, we're happy to have all you folks join us. Hope you guys have recovered after last night. Some of you still a little tingish. But good to have you folks nonetheless. Good to have you folks nonetheless, wherever you guys are joining us from. Wherever you wonderful, fantastic folks coming in from this morning, we are happy. Simply delighted to have each and every one of you folks as you come on. You know the usual we say in the morning. What's the usual again? Share the live, smash that emoji button, folks. Good to have all of you on the live with us. It's a privilege. It's a pleasure. We don't take it lightly. And that's what we encourage you guys to do. Share the live, smash that emoji button as well. Whichever page you're coming in from, ensure you're following that page. If you're joining us on Tube, ensure that you subscribe. Right? So you get all the notifications. As soon as we go live, as soon as we post a video, you get a notification. So please and thank you. Good to have you. We see you, Ingrid Crawford, Roxanne Aaron, Prince Holder, we see you as well. We want to thank all of you guys for joining us. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, folks. We're happy and delighted to have all of you here with us. We're going to be on for a few minutes. Good to have you, Don. Don is watching us from Jamaica. Don Baines watching us from Jamaica. Y'all encourage us to see we have an international morning program because y'all tune in from all over the world. Sasha Trim, we see you there. Haven't seen you a little bit, Sasha. Hope you're good. Sasha, Latoya Spencer is here as well. Jacinta Antonio is here too. Good to see you, Jacinta, Audrey Ward, Kevin Pierce, Sasha Trim, all you other fantastic folks joining us this morning. We're fired up at this end. We got the morning paper set. Want to tell you guys a couple of things. Dennis Welchman. Good morning to Simona Brooms. Heard Simona was on a live earlier. Back up yourself. Heard Simona was on a live earlier. Back up yourself, Simona. Back up yourself. Trust all went well at your end. Audrey Ward is joining us from the BVI. Guyanese all over the world. Guyanese all over the world. We're so happy. So happy to have you folks here with us. All right? I'm still waking up, you know. Oh, I look like I'm up. Still waking up. Folks, a lot of stuff happening. You know, we had that fire at Charity Market. Quite recently, we had that fire at Charity Market. And the folks had a protest yesterday. I remember I told you, the people want back the market and somebody wants to build a mall. Who wants to do that? Somebody wants to build a mall. They don't want to give the people back the market. They don't want to give them back their vending space. They want to give them a mall. That's what they want to do. That's what the folks are telling us. Now, who will tell you those people want a mall? And so the people said they haven't even heard officially from the fire service what was the origin of that fire there at the charity market. They haven't even been told about the origin of the fire. But some regional official come around them telling them something about a mall, Rashid Ford. Something about a mall, Wendy Caesar, Shauna Fortune Hazel. Something about a mall. The folks had a protest yesterday, of course, making their concerns known. They had a protest. We want no mall. Give me back the little shed, no man. Let me private trade. People got mortgages, they got family to feed. And the folks just want to get back there to life as it were before this fire. But now they've had the fire. Somebody want to put a shed there. Somebody want to put a shed. Take a look at some of what went down yesterday at that protest. At that protest, and this is, we're talking about region number 2. This is Essequibo, charity in particular. Donald George, thanks for your contribution there, Donald. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Donald made a contribution to our broadcast live on YouTube. But once we're live, there's a $sign in the comment section, and persons can donate to our program. They're going to ask you guys about, they're going to ask you to purchase emoji of some sort, a stick of some sort, and part of that proceeds come towards our program. And we're grateful. We're grateful. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this, someone went on that protest in charity yesterday about the market.
Every day we will be out here until our voice is heard. Every second month we still in the go there out here, still a whole month. That's how you got every hour. Before Thursday. Every day we will be out here until our voice is heard. Every second month we still in the go there out here, still a whole month. That's how you got every hour. Before Thursday. Every day we will be out here until our voice is heard. Every second month we still in the go there out here, still a whole month. That's how you got every hour. Before Thursday.
Yep. So it was so nice we had to do it twice. So nice we had to do it twice. And that's some of what's happening, folks, in charity in Essequibo. The folks say they haven't heard what were the origins for that fire. And they're not getting any meaningful help from the authorities there, from the region, from the NDC, what have you. From the region in particular, they're not getting any help. And somebody suddenly see land and they want to build a mall. East Duke, they want to build a mall there. And Jenny Abrams, they want to be a mall. So nice you have to do it twice. Brenda Moore, they want to be a mall. They want to do a mall. Sion Salvatore, Mark Jones, Sasha Trim, they want to be a mall. Sasha said, so sad. Sasha said, so sad. They want to do a mall. Morning papers. Evans Presser is making the rounds. A lot of folks saw a lot of qualms. Got a lot of qualms about that press conference yesterday held by Irfan Ali. And of course, we dedicated our entire show last night. That's how it was important to us. Dedicated our whole show last night to it. Oh, folks, what am I doing for a cup of coffee now? You know? A cup of coffee, anybody? What am I doing for a cup of coffee? When in the kitchen, you can't get a cup of coffee. What kind of place is this, man? Leon Blair, Latil Brack. A lot of folks got a lot of concerns with this press conference. You had a chance to listen to any portion of it. I want to assume those of you who are with us here joined our program last evening. We don't want to assume that at all. Marcy Agard, Gary Wang, you got a chance to catch any part of that presser yesterday? Or was something else? Sabrok News this morning says that Ali spoke for 78 minutes. Oh, Sabrok News. Oh, you have to put it down to the last minute. 78 minutes. You know, we clocking at the hour 16. Right there. I may have missed a minute or two, or it's this research of Sabrok News. 78 minutes. And then he took questions for 50 minutes or so. And then you have Nascimento very, very abruptly. One media house, one question, one follow-up. And this is rush all over again. One media house was allowed into the press conference to ask one question, and you got one follow-up. Yeah. I saw nobody didn't ask Ali about that phone call or the text. The girl texts him, the complainant in the Nigel Darmalal rape and sodomy saga. Right. But perhaps it was to restrict questions in that manner. And that's why they adopted this format. And Vesti Hardy Rajkumar says it's 78 minutes of pure madness. Spanish compulsory now in schools. Compulsory now for the cabinet. 12 o'clock in the night. Even said they're going to learn Spanish. I only think you want to learn Spanish. Habla no español. You only think you want to learn Spanish. If I say you can learn Spanish, don't think you're going to do international conference looking thin. No. Don't do it. 12 o'clock, the whole scamp net. The bugger net, the sex net, the rape net. Or 12 o'clock in the night. Them boys learning Spanish. According to Irfan Ali. So let's show you a portion of that press conference in case you missed it, where he talked about Spanish in schools being compulsory. And he said the reason, he gave us the reasons why. You see? The reasons why they want the Spanish in the schools. He tells us the reasons. Oh, isn't the kind? He tells us the reasons. Take a look, folks, and take a listen. This is the president's presser yesterday. Take a look, take a listen.
We're now looking at our national policy on solid waste, on the new solid waste management bill, a national zoning plan, new regional and urban planning framework, master plan to achieve universal secondary education. On this note, commencing from September, Spanish will now become compulsory in our school system. Our national infrastructure master plan, the reformulation of an integrated water resource management system. In terms of Spanish, I hope that now give you a personal example. One of my greatest regrets now that I'm in have this responsibility for Guyana is that I dropped Spanish in secondary school. And being in a continent in South America where we celebrate we're the only English-speaking country, we have to realize too that we're part of this continent that speaks Spanish. And I believe we're going to do the future young people of our country an injustice if we don't point them into this direction. Because if you want to be competitive internationally, you have to have the second language. If you want to land yourself international jobs, if we want to say that we're developing the highly skilled human resource base, then this becomes necessary. And I'm hoping that not only will the school implement this, but the private sector. The private sector would also move towards having their children trained their employees trained in Spanish. I'm also going to move to have the cabinet take compulsory classes, maybe at midnight. We will also work on see whether we can launch an online platform for any Guyanese who want to learn Spanish to go on that platform and learn Spanish. This now, if you go on Regent Street today, you will see that in many stores they actually have someone who speaks Spanish employed. So it will come upon us if we don't get ahead of the curve and get it done. So I've asked for a full assessment. I've been told that we have adequate capability, especially at the secondary level, to have this compulsory Spanish taught. We have also engaged a number of bilateral partners to loan us human resource assets in this period of transition, because I would want that at least from what is it? What do you call it? Grade 4? What is primary 4 now? Primary 3? Grade 5. Grade 5. At least from grade 5, grade 4, grade 5, you start the process. Technology also gives us an opportunity to build an online platform through the learning channel that we can deliver this training also. So I think that we have enough capacity, and we're going to build the capacity, I think, by September to have this introduced, at least from the start from grade 4 or 5.
Yep. So that's some of what came out of that press conference. Cabinet got to learn Spanish at 12 in the night. I can see some of them struggling there. What we do here, boy? It's what Jagdio High sent us. We heard prayer when they complained last evening. Pradoville too. Jagdio, this madness got to stop. This madness got to stop. While they closing down the nursing school there in Region 10, the opening one in Region 6 and Region 2. 2 and 6, closing it down in 10. They say things bad. We got import nurses now. Sheriff billing all them big hospitals, we need nurses. The private sector need nurses. Government going all out. Say we spoke to the Cubans. Sheriff billing hospitals here, there, and everywhere. These hospitals need nurses. That's what they even said. You know, don't let me try to pay the nurses we got here better. Let me bring more nurses and compound the issue. Let's bring more nurses and pay them better. You know? Folks are really struggling with some subjects we got in the books. Let me add some more. God forbid you go to China, you can't understand them. It's Chinese every backside. Mandarin. Goes to see the Pope in Italy. Goes to see the Pope in Rome. They're speaking Latin, there being problems. Bishop Selby, we're going to be in problems. 78 minutes of madness. 2.5 hours of it. Madness. I know we got a lot of nurses that watch us. Here's Ali on the nursing front, announcing with it, building the schools already. Done shut down Linden. Charles Rosa Nursing School there in Linden. Trained a lot of good people, trained my mother, trained my aunt. You know. They got a lot of friends who are trained there as well, who've become like family to us over the years. So they shut down the one in Region 10. Linden training too many nurses. Petula boys, too many nurses. Linden training. So we're going to build a new school in Region 2. Let's build a new nursing school in Region 6. Here is Ali on that note.
We have completed the construction of 2 new nursing schools with modern classrooms and dormitories. Beginning this year, the new nursing school in Region 6 and 2 will take in students. I think as I speak to you now, in our program to allow anyone with entry requirement who want to do nursing to have that opportunity, we have more than 1,200 Guyanese registered in our nursing program nationally. The whole world now is on an active drive of recruiting nurses all over. So we have to find the immediate measure, the medium term and long term. The medium and long term is to train and retrain and train more than the capacity that you need. But the immediate term, for example, for nurses, is to have nurses come into the system from external sources. We're in discussion now, for example, with Cuba. Up to this morning, I had a long discussion with the ambassador to see if we can get Cuban nurses to come into the system now in the immediate period to help to fill that gap because of the tremendous shortage that we have. The same thing for construction workers and labor. We have these challenges.
So if Ali's right, as he exposes there, we need more nurses. Glenford, Faith, Ainsworth, Sherlanda, and Carroll. Why are we closing down the nursing school in London? If by Ali's own admission, Carol Durant, we need more nurses, why close down the nursing school in London? It don't make no logical sense, to us at least. Why do that? And London perhaps is arguably, Charles Rosa Nursing School, the best we got in the country. Gisela Roman, arguably the best we got. And then he said that they've increased the healthcare budget by 150% in the last 3 years. And of course, they premise all of that by saying the APNU didn't do it. Maybe if we had the oil money, maybe if the APNU AFC government had the oil money, they would have done the exact same thing. Perhaps. But I guess we were busy hammering out the framework for the Natural Resource Fund, the Natural Resource Fund Act, the Petroleum Commission, and all of that. That enabled you guys to come in 2020 and reap the benefit and the rewards of that. Now let me talk this story halfway. Lee Jacob, Beatrice Selby, Luana Angel. Now let me talk this story halfway. Let's talk it the full way. Please and thank you. Thank you and please. Saint Romain Adams. So it's not because y'all, by, balancing the budget, bringing in investments and all that. It's oil money spending. It's the oil money that's spending. So you're closing down the nursing school in Region 10. You're opening 1 and 6, 1 and 2, Region 6 and 2. You're importing nurses. Because, as you said, there's a shortage of nurses. But we're closing down nursing schools. During Clark, that makes sense. Polygrids, that makes sense. And then they come back to nominal GDP triples because of their sound economic management? No, because oil gushing. We showed you those people quite recently. I sat down with those folks from Porica, Facade. And our indigenous brothers and sisters who live there said they ain't getting no cash grant. They ain't getting no COVID grant. They got a hole in the ground in which water is going into naturally. And that's where they're bathing and eating and cooking from. They said none of them, they ain't gonna work. I asked them for the part-time jobs. They said, well, name, sir, what's a part-time job? The vice president part-time job. What's a part-time job? So nominal GDP tripling and all of that gotta mean something to the common folks. Not only those who got oil blocks, not only those who got shore base. It gotta mean something to the common folks out there. That's the trouble people got with the regime. Among the other troubles they got with the regime. That's the problem that they got with the regime. And of course, the press conference turned to Dharmalal, turned to Dharmalal. Fellow was upset at some points. We asked about this young lady. Upset. Very upset. Very, very upset. So here he's talking about, the question was asked about Dharmalal's replacement. Right? And then the question was asked about an independent investigation. Right? Damla's replacement and an independent investigation. The man was furious. Right? Very upset. Very upset. Here's his response to the question. When will the replacement for the local government minister be made? We want to know who is the next minister of local government. And his response.
The process. Right now, I'm looking at different aspects of government, as you have seen in my presentation. I'm looking at full functioning of government, and before the end of this week, I'll be making some announcements, which includes the reassignment and assignment of the responsibility in that portfolio.
Yeah. So by the end of this week, we can get some more information on that. By the end of this week, we will have some more information about that. The replacement, there was a little hinting of reshuffling. And then the question was asked about his Trinidad statement, the fact that he didn't mention the girl. No in the statement. No in the statement. He mentioned the young lady. I had a response for that too. Take a listen.
First of all, I think it's insulting to say that our system is not independent. From day one, the president of Guyana made it clear that this First of all, I want to make it very clear that children and women and their welfare is of utmost importance to me and this government. There is absolutely no time in which this government will put the welfare of women and children on second burner or third burner. The welfare of women and children is of utmost importance to us. At the time, I was dealing specifically with state agency that made a pronouncement and my consequential action in relation to that pronouncement. Haven't heard from the minister. That is all it is. I have complete respect and regard for children and women. They are at the top of my priority in this government priority. The leadership of this party is decided by the members of this party at a Congress. Every leader of the party is elected at but I want to make this point very clearly. We have to follow rules, we have to follow system. And I'm working as president of Guyana to build systems that serve the population. System in which population can find honor in being part of, and system through which we can trust. Just before, and I don't want to comment on this, just before I came to this press conference, some letter that is circulating was brought to my attention. I have not even read it. I have not even read it. But I am saying to you that in the course of natural justice, the justice system must work. In the course of natural justice, the system that supports natural justice must be allowed to work. And that is what the president did. Whether the minister who is a citizen would have any work in government is not something I've considered that he has requested at this moment.
Folks, and in all that, FYI said yesterday, he still didn't say, I feel sorry for the girl. Her safety is of utmost concern, her mental well-being, you know, guilty or not, not a word to her. Sadly, not a word about her, even in his response yesterday. That was interestingly telling. And then I think it was Svetlana Marshall from New Source who asked the question about whether they would do an independent investigation, whether they would allow an independent investigation. Well, she was wrong for that. She don't know that's upset Irfan. She was quite wrong for that. Independent investigation on this matter with the 60-year-old. And you get letters circulated that I read, but I'm commenting about. I didn't read it. I saw letters circulating. I didn't read it, but I'm commenting publicly, nationally about something I didn't read. I didn't read, but I'm commenting on it. Independent investigation. Irfan's response to that.
First of all, I think it's insulting to say that our system is not independent. From day one, the president of Guyana made it clear that the system would be allowed to work. In every country, there is a system, starting with the Child Care Protection Agency, what's the name of the agency? Human Services, Blossom, the police, the DPP. These are all independent agencies. These are all independent agencies that are working not only in Nigel Damlar case, but working in many other cases in the country. These are the same agencies that existed when allegations were made against foreign ministers of our government. I never heard that question from you then. I never heard it from you. I asked you to refer to them to give those examples. But we have to allow the systems in the country to work. The president did not intervene in the investigation. The president did not do the investigation. These are independent agencies set up in accordance with the constitution and rule of law of the country. And as president and as a government, we have to have trust in our institutions. We have to have trust in our institution. First,
yep, that's some of what Irfan said yesterday. You know, there's something happening there mentally. I can't put my hand on it, but something. You heard him say, the president said the system must work. He talking about himself in the third person. The president said the system must work, or is he talking about Jack Deere? It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. Starbuck News made a point of this 78 minutes presentation that was made. I saw somebody said, was it Kaicho News? Nothing that you wouldn't hear Jack Deere saying on a regular Thursday press conference. You probably will hear this afternoon. Nothing that you wouldn't hear in a regular Thursday press conference. He come and say back everything. And as Starbuck News said, at times lecturing reporters. That was a snapshot. At times lecturing reporters. Well, that was a snapshot there. You never accept no, but independent investigation. So why are you asking us? Go back and ask them, God damn it. Go back and ask them. Yeah. And those were some elements out of the air finales presser yesterday, good folks. Go back and ask them. Don't come around with funny. In this one Guyana. You never accept new them questions. Independent investigation. Huh? Whatever, so go back and ask them. Folks, those were some of the things that came out of the air finale press conference yesterday. A couple of the things, not plenty. A couple of the things that came out of that press conference yesterday. Let's turn our attention quickly as we wind down today's program. And I'm using the term wind down very loosely. Very, very loosely. Some will be covering internationally, and we're going to circle back to some of the things we're covering locally as well. Some of the things we're talking about internationally, good folks. Some of the things. Very quickly, it's end times, you know. End times. You got droughts happening in some places right now as we speak. Temperatures are high in some others. Right here in Guyana in the 5 line too. My Lord. It's summer, the temperature telling me that I think a little more hot than usual. Spain got some problems. The folks said they've noticed the earth is a little hotter in Spain. They got a deadly heat wave that they're grappling with in Spain there. So we're watching that. Biden at NATO, heading off to, I think it's Finland. It is, if he hasn't landed there as yet. Zelensky wants to get into NATO, but the folks know all the complications to that because they want NATO to go to war and start World War IV or 3 or 5, how much it is. They don't want to start that, so they've been reluctant. But Zelensky of Ukraine has been pushing. We want NATO membership. They're grappling with that on that front. And then in Sudan, you know, there's the fighting between the generals there in Sudan. You know, we've been following this. The fighting between the generals there in Sudan. This is between the Sudanese armed forces. There's one faction. They overthrow a dictator, and then they got much worse. The Sudanese armed forces, led by one General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and they're fighting the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, which is deemed as a paramilitary group led by one General Mohammed Hamdan Delgado. Well, the folks said they found a mass grave with 87 bodies in it in Sudan. Poet says that death is man's inhumanity to man. That's the picture they carry with it there. If they were to put it in a dictionary, 87 bodies in a mass grave. And we hear about stuff like this so often, we now become a little numb to it. Neil Thomas joining us from Maryland. Good to have you, Neil. Thanks for joining our broadcast this morning. Good to have you there, Neil. And again, thanks for joining our broadcast this morning. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us. All of you who are in the live, Sandra Davis, Mayborn King, Roxana Campbell, good to have you as well. Our thoughts and prayers with the people of Sudan. 87 bodies. 87. Right? 87. Something to look at. Regionally, folks, I don't know how much bigger we can build these things, you know. Royal Caribbean has launched the world's largest cruise ship. Folks, I don't know. Does it matter? I want to get a cruise ship with 10,000 people. I feel like at a football stadium. And I'm locked in a confined space with all these people for a lengthy period of time. I can barely stand the 2 neighbors I got. I can barely check them. How much bigger we can build these things? Good old see y'all who like them among a lot of people. How much bigger we can build it? Royal Caribbean. Huh? I thought we see this movie before. It's called the Titanic. I thought we'd seen it before. Come back, check. Shut, come back. I thought we seen before. Where we going? Kudos to y'all, man. Kudos to you guys. It's your thing. Kudos to y'all. Trinidad and Tobago folks next door. And our plane right away. Trinidad and Tobago, second case of monkeypox. Minister of Health says, don't panic. We got this. We've been prepping for it. We got it. Minister of Health there in Trinidad said, don't panic. We got y'all. Keep it over, sir, begging. Have we closed the borders to Trinidad yet? Keep it over there. Guatemala, Latin America, should have gotten here before we came to Trinidad next door. It makes sense in a way. You can't come home and go back. Come from Guatemala, Latin America into the Caribbean. But Guatemala suspended a political party recently. One of the political opponents that can't contest. Is raising a lot of eyebrows. A lot of eyebrows have been raised. Defeat your opponents fairly and squarely. Don't go through all these back doors. You know people like back doors. Ask Kwame, ask Jack Doe. They like back doors. Don't go through the back door. Come right. Defeat your opponents fair and square. But a set of backdoor people in Guatemala, I'm very ashamed. Very ashamed. Right? Very ashamed what's going down there in Guatemala. They slip a little bit every day. Like these boys here. The backdoor crew. Defeat your opponents fairly and squarely. But Guatemala, like these boys, trying to go through the back door, Abby D'Souza. Godfrey Montaigne, they're trying to go through the back door in the backyard. We're watching them. Gotta watch them. And of course, Abby and Sharon, Ingrid Murphy Pearson, we're in the 592. We're in the 592, good folks. Bringing it home now. Bringing it home in the 592. Yeah, good to have all of you joining us. Wherever you're joining us from, we're in the 592 now. Here's what's going down in the 592. In the 592. France, they tell us, setting up a diplomatic office here, but you can't get visa to France. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Can't get a visa. Right? Can't get a visa. But they're setting up a diplomatic office. Perhaps it's a country desk. Because none of these things got stages in them. Lyndon Gill, Larry Crawford, Edward Brooms, Wayne Brown got stages. France setting up a diplomatic office, but it will not be issuing visas here. That's what they're telling us. No visas to be issued. We wish them the best. Welcome to the rough and tumble Guyanese Society. France, welcome. Got some friends in France been inviting me. We gotta carve out some time to go and see how the French do it. But to carve out some time to go and see how the French do it, folks. They're telling us the Harbor Bridge can be closed down for 3 days. After the $1 billion in repair, they say we got to go. After that $1 billion in repair recently, I say we got to go with the Harbor Bridge. But lo and behold, 3 days, folks on the west side, God be with y'all. God be with y'all. 3 days. And they put in some systems in place. Get a couple of canoe and some pontoon and so on, and you got to go. 3 days. And seriously, I thought after that $3 billion repairs the other day, I said we got to go. So Sharon's saying some red flags being raised here. Angela Jordan, how look by your side? Good morning, Angela. Aletta Rickett, Mikey the boss. 3 days. 3 days. You know? Yeah. That's what they're telling us with the Harbor Bridge. 3 days. We're watching that. And you remember Constable Quincy Lewis, whose remains were found in a shallow grave. They said he was involved with a married woman. The husband and the wife lured him to a location in Diamond and hired hitmen to kill him. Well, they just came back with the DNA report that confirmed that the bones is him. They found the bones. They confirm it's him. Folks, this story got implications. It has a lot of implications. Because some people have been asking some questions to Toy Spencer. Candy Lynn in the Jeet Roundup Garden. People have been asking some questions, Candy. Margaret Nelson. Long time gone. Short time come. People have been asking questions. How come the 20 students from Malia Day, DNA results came back in a day or two? And there were so many bones to identify at that location where the school was, the dormitory in Malia. So many bones. But the bones found in a shallow grave on the Linden-Suzac Highway took months. Took months. So people say, is what happening here? Huh? Hola? What happening here? The thing look a little fishy. Candy, the thing look a little fishy. Gail, Alicock, it look a little suspect. It looked a little suspect. The bones for the kids came back in record time. And folks had raised some contention since then. That nothing here hadn't seemed regular. Nothing here hadn't seemed regular at all. But we give them the benefit of the doubt. Nonetheless, we give them the benefit of the doubt. But how can 20 children, so many bones, identify them in record time? And then in this other instance, you took months. So I don't know if the police going to come forward. You know, they do things in their own time. I don't know how they're going to come forward and what they will say and all of that. But we are saying for our little part here, people are asking questions. Right? People are asking a lot of questions. And these things need answers to them. So I have to say, the questions need answers to them. Right? Need answers to them. And before we go this morning, before we rush off, I want you to bear in mind as we contemplate on all of these things here, what's going on in this country of ours. And people have a right in a democratic, truly democratic country to ask the question. Remember that family we talked to in Perica Facade? You remember that family? Think about them. And we're going to show back some of that footage. Right? They say they're grateful for the land they're living on. They're grateful they've been allowed to live there. But it needs some light and water. While Ali outside saying that, you know, the economy tripled, the GDP, nominal GDP tripled in the last 3 years. People say they ain't got light. They go ask something as basic as water. I want you to look and see where they're cooking and how they're washing. Right? Ali made a comment yesterday. He said so many people, they got more work in this country than people. That's what he said. They got more work than there are people in this country. This family said nobody working. We can't get work. So I don't know is who lying. Because he went on yesterday to say in the water sector, oh, they're doing well. Folks, Puerto Rico is not Timbuktu. Puerto Rico is not Deep South. Rupadoni. Puerto Rico is a hop, skip, and a jump across the Demerara River. Harabich closing for 3 days. None of them are going to work. I said, you mean to tell me none of these part-time jobs by the vice president y'all don't have? I said, we ain't going to work here. You're benefiting from the hampers, the COVID cash grant? Had this nice time? No. Nope. Nope. Take a look and take a listen to what those folks told me. This humble family from Puerto Rico Facade. This is not facade. Facade. Want to call the name right. Take a listen to what they told me recently.
And the person named Alexander, Winifred Alexander, the place name. The lady then, what she said, she husband dead and only she left. But she said me could continue here living. Yes, that's what she said. But I don't know if more later she go put me out or what. I don't know that.
The question I had is whether you all pay a rent here.
No.
You all don't pay any. You
No,
don't pay
never
any rent.
pay, never pay because also Spanish people come in there and they never pay rent. And when we see them, me and I'll come and chop bamboo and start to build me little shed.
So for over 5 years, you all have lived here, right?
Yes.
You've said that nobody's ever come looking into the housing issue here.
No.
But you all
no.
got some issues. You all don't have any light in the back here. There's a lot
No.
of families, folks. There's a lot of
No,
families living
no,
at the
have
back of the
none.
side. The folks are estimated over 400 households live at the back here. You don't have light, you don't have water,
Nothing.
running water. And you've even showed us an area where you use water for bathing the kids. And something you said to us early on is that this children's skin would itch them. And they,
Yes. And do nothing because we use it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what are you all looking to have the authorities do? You know? My brother?
Yeah. Yeah, I could be, and you could help with little water in this place. The water we suffering for. Yeah. So if you maintain the water, we got things nice and the house. Problem is them building a house here too, and we break my hand. On the house there, and we not too hand not too healthy to it. I could do work, but my hand break, so I can't get home. I walk my hand as well. And I got the extra paper, everything over there.
That's what I was about to ask you all. What do you guys do for employment? How do you guys earn a living? Have you ever gotten the cash grants that they give out, that kind of thing?
No,
No.
we never get. We there at the back end. When
No.
I share out there, we never get no money.
When we do here, then don't get them. We not get nothing
When I
here.
come and share ration,
Only
them
what we
people
get
out there, we don't
It's
get
the
nothing
children
back.
grant money lately we
No
get.
money. Them people are get them. When we go forget now, them I say we don't do in the village, so them talk and we don't get them.
So this is where you say we talking with all the folks at the back this way.
Yeah, but them
Yes.
front part always getting, and we there at the back here, all the
Never
house are there at the back, no, we not get. Yeah, nobody not check for me. By the time we go out there, we name out and say we there at the back, we can. Yeah, and when I cheer and ration now, when we go out the front part, chop people again, we don't get. We just tell at the back.
And my brother, what has been your experience at the back here? I mean, like,
What is me need and me help is all about the walkway. Me come out from here. It's very bad.
Barnes Avenue, where we came with a long walkway.
Yeah, so we need the walkway for set. We need the place to develop that we could get light, water, current, everything. So we could get the road that the kids could walk out anytime and go to school. So we need like we could get some black tanks or we could put in the pipe or whatsoever we could get for now because we need help and nobody don't check from where the back is.
And Granny was telling us early on that when it rains, it's very muddy here.
Yes.
She got to jog the children out.
Same thing Halloween.
There's
We
water
got
till up to here and
we got
water
three
here
children.
and messing up all them school picnic.
You cannot make people come in with a boots.
Water high till here. Yeah.
We need drainage for the land.
You were saying, sir?
Yeah, we need drainage for the land. One big trench past this front there. We need the trench to dig out that every land could be drainage in the land. So when nobody checking on this one say there that we could survive, that we could get one clean life. But everybody just catering for themselves. So,
There are more people living
yeah,
down the
that's
back.
right. Yes, me house live at the back, then we could take
She
you to it.
living at
That's
the
why I
back
show you
and
how
she
the
living
place
at the
is.
back.
When you don't think you could go, it can
We carry on, we show you me live, how me live in the same way how we live in here. We pan and water, same way everybody trying to survive in the space. And we never got no help, we walking with labor, we just walk with people. We get daily bread, so nobody don't there for help.
You all vote too?
Yes, I
Yeah,
vote
we
in
voted.
here. I 62 year I vote in here. I vote in here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and nobody sends me come here, so me follow my mother from Northwest, me come right with the mom. Yeah, Kita place me. But I come here because
Police, yeah.
in there I got no work for we the poor people, right? So we decide and left with place and we come decide without home, we reach here, we suffering too. Me come, me put my children them in school. That is how we punish him. We move from house to house. We work with people towards forget we children to school, forget them education, right? Because when me be small, me not get education. So me sending my children them, me trying all my best now. For my husband working every day. I got today, my husband rest. He is 53 years old. Me is 52 years old now. But me don't work lately. Me do surgery with my eye. Me not been seeing. So my husband work every day and we need help. That's why we trying to build the house there and we there like polling house there.
And you all vote every election.
Yes, we used to vote,
Yes.
vote every election.
And you all don't have any light in the back. You don't have no water.
Nobody not checking for me. That's why I tell my
Just
husband,
buy
I say,
water
one day,
for
hear
them
me
people.
talk like this, I get vexed. I say one day. I said one day they would come around and say that we have to vote again. And that's why I would tell the people them, just useless for we vote and nobody checking for we. That's what me say, you know, because of vex, right? Because nobody checking for we because we poor them and said that them is poor people let alone. Like what he said that you will hear money sharing and the pass we and the gun, then a check back party, you hear hamper sharing, nobody ain't getting them
No
to check
hamper,
on we.
no cash grant.
Nothing.
What about the
Nothing.
COVID cash grant?
No, we ain't get nothing.
Nothing.
Now when we water flooded, we little plant there. Not
We plant, we little plant when the water flooded there. We plant again the day. Yes, that's how we suffering here. How long we no work, we can't eat.
Can eat.
Wow.
Yes,
This water in this hole down here, where does the water come
it's
from?
coming from the
Does
earth. Who know if it's a clean water
If
we
it's clean
using
water,
or
about
it's
from the
and
dirty
you all
water?
cook with that water too? Sorry?
Yes, sometimes we have to cook with it
Yes,
when the rain
because we
no
not get no
fall.
water.
When
When
the
we
rain
want
fall,
water, we just go buy from them pipe water.
We just buy water,
$1,000
500 a
about.
bottle. We just pay for the
Ordinary pipe water from out front.
Yes,
No, right in
it's
front of
buy.
we just buy from them neighbors pipe.
Oh, so we
Sometimes
just buy water.
3 bucket, them a give
That's how we
$1,000
suffering in this place. We need big help. Yes, we need help because every time we vote for we president and we not getting help. We want to know what happening, what wrong, and the people them who not in need them getting big help, and we are suffering here. We not getting help.
Ma'am, you're telling
Yes,
me that you've consistently voted in
Yes.
elections in this
Yes.
country, and you buy water from your neighbor.
yes.
Yes.
Just buy water from out there. Me buy from the shop.
And this is pipe water. You sell
We use
Yeah, the pipe
we use
water,
pipe
yes.
water. We just beg some of my neighbor them here nearby. If me not got money for buy from the shop, me beg my neighbor them just
Yeah,
give me.
buy.
Same pipe water we got for cook with and use. But the water you're getting it clear for now and more just now it change to get black.
Yeah.
Yes.
And tell us about the help that you all want from the government in this area here.
Well, we need help with the road, the track for bill. We need help
This is
with
the
yes.
Barnes Avenue. That's the track you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Or there's another track?
Yes.
No. Oh,
No, the track. You said the
no,
track.
me telling you
No,
about
this
the
is not Pinky
Help,
Place.
help with the track.
This is
Me,
Winifred
this is
Alexander
Alexander,
Place.
but we just
Winifred
come
Alexander.
Yes.
Yes,
But
but
we
Yeah,
just
but,
come
but the
and
road,
yeah, but
the
the
road
people
pass
give
through
me
here.
okay who live here.
Okay.
Yes.
oh, we just come and cut land to, and you know, we build we little camp,
Just
and
like how
I said we
everybody
living like
come
how
in and
everybody come and they see bush and we chop big bush. You see that bush where they say we chop the bush clean. We come and we punish. They say we
Yeah.
punish
Nina,
enough.
I want to
me
hear
no
the
got
track.
even
Just
chance
listen
now
to hold it
who
on.
brush me yard. You
Right,
see how
right.
he did?
Yes, that's what we going through here. We suffering bad. You see, when rainfall, we wetting. We husband, we son them go work. Yes, when they bring in half for buy we 2 pieces
Now
thing.
by ration.
Yeah.
A part for buy we ration, a part for buy we 2 pieces clothes.
And
And
let
that's
me
how
take
we
you
live
just now
in.
show you the road everywhere.
Yes, we really punishing in this area here.
We really
In this
need a road.
party, yes, we're going through hardness.
And you have a road come down half it down there, just a complete more for come through straight through there and go through a dam there, cause now the road coming from Surrey and come through there, through me place there with me there at the back.
Everybody got a pan, they got me pan, so.
So me go.
So
Anyway,
when, how do you guys see here in the nights? Like when when it's night, how do you move around here?
Them people who,
Night?
like I said, them
With
people who got money,
torchlight
like,
where we
no.
going upstairs and stay one place already because we cannot come down. It's dark. One night me cry all because me baby me grand pick me crying and me and I'll cry because me like when me got the ball cut. It's dark. Me they only just sit down crying. Me not see me
Yeah,
making
that's
see me
so
at
how we
through
going
one
through.
side. Me
We're
crying.
not going through
Yes,
easy living
but me
here.
parking.
It's hard for me.
living.
Nobody not check on me back party.
So you're asking for the government to check on you.
check
Asking for
on
the
we so we
government
could
come and
get
check on
one
me.
better life that all we could live as one that we could
Yes.
get up in this life that we could live. Good that our children must get good education. Everybody
Yes,
in this
everybody
area
get-
here must develop and we could do something. We could vote to the government that we could empower all the time. Because we need help and we can't left down the poor them so.
And none of we children, none of we not there in a job.
I'm not really in a good job that we get in a
Nobody.
Not even the
regular
part-time job that they
no
have
time,
now.
no time,
No,
none
Nothing
job,
at
none
all.
job from the government.
Nobody here is working.
No.
Why we could glad for get here, we could need help with little thing, and we self could build the house, we could walk in,
That's
because we
true.
could try and help all with little thing,
But true.
and we could build up the
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Buy
So
young
we
one and
self-could
build up the
build.
house. Yeah, that we need for we could try what
We
we
get-
house. Then we
we
have
forget
peaceful
them
and
help.
fun a house now.
Got the house building straight so just now you will see and that remain right there.
It's
What
wet
you
part,
want
the
there,
rain
so
fall.
you
Got
must
no
be plastic
thinking of-
around just to get a life.
Yeah,
Because
not
you got
finished
children,
the house
and you
up
got
there.
wife and people all them there at the back there. So
We're going
you
through
want
hardness
to see if
in
we
this
could get
time.
help from the government, we could get something.
Yes, and we hear the
I hear you.
government have good things, helping everybody. We not left out no
Correct.
one, you know.
The government say you left
Correct.
no one.
Correct. I hear you. All right, folks. Thanks for talking with
Yes.
me. Thanks to all of you for talking with us. And we're gonna air this story and see what help we can get for y'all.
Yep. We're gonna leave it there, folks. This morning's paper, and yesterday's press conference, Irfan Ali said, you got more work in this country than you got people. Clearly, this family don't know where they work there. Clearly, they don't know where they work there. And then this is the headline in this morning's paper. The headline that shouts at you, Guyana's nominal GDP triples, 3.1 trillion in 2 years. It triples, 3.1 trillion in 2 years. That's the most. You feeling that? Pamela, Naomi, Diane, Sharon, Brenda, Oliver, you feeling the GDP? Guyana GDP triple. 3 years, 2 years, and people don't even know how to eat in tomorrow. Sharon says, poverty is on the rise. Huh? Poverty on the rise. Nominal GDP triples in 2 years, 3.1 trillion. People out here catching the tail. People out here catching the tail. Right? Are you feeling it? This 3.1 trillion. Right? All these jobs that are available more than people in the country. People say, I can't find it. We're going to leave it there, folks. We're going to leave it there until our next broadcast. Until our next broadcast. We're going to leave it there. Folks, as you move about today, if you need a justice of the peace, Commissioner votes to affidavit, we want to recommend the Alistair Collins firm. They're good folks down there. They understand the business of a justice of the peace. A commissioner votes to affidavit. They got a good team that's going to look after all of your documentation needs. 649-6410 is the number you want to call. 649-6410. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Alistair Collins and his dedicated team are your go-to experts for all your documentation needs. And then you got this fantastic conference coming up too. After you finish with Alistair and his team there, fantastic conference. This is the Guyana Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Investment Conference. July 14th to 16th. The number you want to call is 652-1959. 652-1959. They got booths available for you who want to go in that direction. And they got a great lineup of speakers. All right, so let's try and expand yourself for summer. Expand yourself for summer. You're involved in business. We want to recommend the Guyana Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Investment Conference to you good folks. That being said, that's going to do it for us in this broadcast. That being said, folks, thanks for joining us, Brenda. Jurita Finance, thanks for joining us. Jurita Vanessa Finance, thanks for joining us. Andrew Griffith, Jurita. Carol Rollins, thanks for joining us. Andrew Griffith, thanks for joining us. Commissioner Cole, Nicole Cole, thanks for joining us, Commissioner Cole. Rastaman is here. I see Sharon and Yolanda, Maria Vera is here too. Candy Lillian Enderjeet, Jackie Baird, and all the other folks. Thanks for joining our broadcast this morning. We're going to see you guys on the next one. Stay safe, guys. Stay focused and stay safe. That's my time.